welcome back to Travel in Chinese. My name is Mark Rosewell, also known as Dashan. In this series, we've been following Huan Renhao and his family as they settle into life in Beijing. Now that they're settled in, they've been traveling around the city a little bit more. They've been to places like Yiheyuan, the Summer Palace, and Changcheng, the Great Wall. Well, today we're going to go to a friend's house and enjoy one of the most popular food items in Beijing, jiaozi, a kind of boiled dumpling. We're going to learn a little bit, too, about the social custom of bao jiaozi. Let's take a look at today's dialogue.
你好，你好，好久不见了。是啊，好久不见。这是我表弟的孩子，叫小杰。小杰，这是王阿姨。阿姨好。哎呦，这孩子真漂亮。来，里边请。好。来，快。
姑姑，小王阿姨的家真不错，跟我的家完全不一样。
王姐，你看现在的孩子根本就搞不清楚住四合院是一种什么样的感觉。
是啊，我们小的时候多有意思啊！
是
夏天捉捉蛐蛐儿，冬天呢堆堆雪人，谁家做了好吃的菜呀，我们都大家一起去吃，一起去分享。
是啊，那时候我就特喜欢到你们家吃饺子，我可记得你们家的饺子特好吃。
哟，还惦记着呢，今天我就给你们包饺子吃。
好啊，我最喜欢吃饺子了。春节的时候，爸爸给我和妈妈做饺子吃。
是吗？来，你们这边请，我给你们拿好吃的去。
好。
姑姑，他是你的老朋友吗？
是啊，我们小时候还是邻居呢。后来他去了国外，所以呀，姑姑有很长时间都没见过他了。
来来，这是糖、花生和瓜子，你们先吃着，我去给你们包饺子去。
哦，阿姨，我跟你一起去包饺子吧。
哦，你会包吗？
我不会，但是我可以学呀。
那就一起包吧，自己包呢，吃着更香。
好，走。
还不错啊。哟，没站起来，没关系，再试一个。
我觉得这个饺子的形状好像耳朵，你看。
你还别说，老人过去就常说，到了冬天吃了饺子，耳朵就不容易被冻伤，
所以才长得像耳朵。
哦，是这样。
哇，
来，小杰，
真不错。
来多吃点。
谢谢。
当心烫。
哎，这个饺子里怎么有颗糖啊？
啊，这是王阿姨特意给你包的，希望你以后的生活啊甜甜蜜蜜。
真有意思。原来糖也可以当馅儿。
不光是糖，过春节的时候还有人往饺子里包硬币呢。
硬币啊，那怎么吃啊？多脏啊！
并不是真的吃，不过到了春节的时候，你要真是吃到这样的饺子，就一定会有福气，还会挣到钱的。
是真的吗？阿姨，你今天做了那种的饺子吗？
是啊，来找找看。
我来找找看。
Xiaojie is impressed with the courtyard. This is a 四合院 courtyard home that was typical in old Beijing. 和我们家完全不一样, completely different from our home, says Xiaojie. Not many Beijingers live in traditional courtyard homes anymore. Children today 根本就搞不清楚住四合院是一种什么样的感觉. They don't have a clue what it's like to live in a courtyard home. 搞不清楚, to not be able to figure something out. 清楚 is clear or understandable. 搞清楚 is like get to the bottom of something, to figure it out. 搞清楚。
姑姑，小王阿姨的家真不错，跟我的家完全不一样。
王姐，你看现在的孩子根本就搞不清楚住四合院是一种什么样的感觉。
Xiaojie's aunt remembers visiting her friend to eat 饺子 together. 还惦记着呢. You still remember that? Now, 记得 is simply to remember. 记得. 惦记 is to remember something fondly. 惦记, to remember fondly, to long for something. So today they're going to make and eat 饺子 together. 包 is the verb that you use for making 饺子. Literally it means to wrap them. 包饺子. As most of you know, 饺子 are boiled dumplings popular in northern China. A meal of 饺子 is often preceded by everyone lending a hand to make the 饺子 together. 一起包饺子. First, their friend goes off to 拿好吃的去. Go and get some good things to eat, some treats. 好吃的.
是啊，我们小的时候多有意思啊！
是
夏天捉捉蛐蛐儿，冬天呢堆堆雪人儿，谁家做了好吃的菜呀，我们都大家一起去吃，一起去分享。
是啊，那时候我就特喜欢到你们家吃饺子，我可记得你们家的饺子特好吃。
哟，还惦记着呢，今天我就给你们包饺子吃。
好啊，我最喜欢吃饺子了。春节的时候，爸爸给我和妈妈做饺子吃。
是吗？来，你们这边请，我给你们拿好吃的去。
好。
Nowadays, you can simply boil frozen 饺子 from the store, but it's much more fun and it tastes better to make your own. 自己包的吃着更香. The ones you make yourself are much more tasty. 更好吃, or as they say here, 吃得更香. Now, 香 usually means fragrant, but here we would say tasty in English.
来来，这是糖、花生和瓜子，你们先吃着，我去给你们包饺子去。
哦，阿姨，我跟你一起去包饺子吧。
哦，你会包吗？
我不会，但是我可以学呀。
那就一起包吧，自己包呢吃着更香。
好，走。
这个饺子的形状很像耳朵. The shape or 形状 of this 饺子 looks like an ear. 你还别说. Now this is a colloquial term to indicate that you are reminded of something or that there is some truth in whatever has just been said, even if it was just a joke. 你还别说. You know, it's true. The old people used to say that your ears would not get frostbite, 冻伤, literally hurt by freezing, if you ate 饺子. Perhaps this is because 饺子长得像耳朵. They look like ears. 长得像 literally means that they've grown or they've formed to look like something.
我觉得这个饺子的形状好像耳朵。
你还别说，老人过去就常说，到了冬天吃了饺子，耳朵就不容易被冻伤。
Let's take a break from the language lesson now and talk a little bit about some background information about 饺子. Now, a wide variety of different Chinese foods fall under the English term of dumpling. Of these, 饺子 are the most popular in northern China, where they're seen as a symbol of festivity and are served as the main dish during Spring Festival celebrations. In vast areas of North China, and especially in the countryside, 饺子 are served throughout the year, and especially when there are guests for dinner. As we'll discuss in a future lesson, some places even offer what is called a 饺子宴, literally a 饺子 banquet, where you're treated to a sampling of dozens of different types of 饺子, boiled, steamed, fried, roasted, and containing an unlimited variety of fillings. 饺子 are made with a thin pastry wrapper, usually with seasoned mincemeat as the filling. They're usually in the shape of a crescent moon, or, as some say, in the shape of ears. This led to the tradition that 饺子 should be eaten in winter to help avoid frostbite on the ears. 饺子 are normally boiled, but can also be steamed under cover. Steamed 饺子 are what we call 蒸饺. A great variety of food can be used for the filling. Minced pork, mutton, and beef, as well as prawn or shrimp are common meats. These are then combined with various vegetables and dried mushrooms. After cooking, the 饺子 are commonly dipped in a sauce of vinegar and soy sauce. Again, there are many variations to the dipping sauce depending on local custom. In southern China, another style of dumplings are called 馄饨. In English, we refer to these as wontons from the Cantonese pronunciation. Wontons are similar to 饺子 but have a thinner wrapping and can contain less filling. Wontons are also folded in a different way that leaves a loose flap, and they are always boiled and served in a broth. In 1969, a Tang Dynasty tomb was excavated in Xinjiang where a wooden bowl was unearthed containing a number of dumplings looking just like the 饺子 of today. This indicates that 饺子 have been enjoyed in China for at least 1,000 years. Now let's take a closer look at some of the language points that we came across in today's dialogue. For example, verb followed by 不清楚 This shows that the result of the verb is not clear, or you're not able to clarify or to do something clearly. For example, 听不清楚, to not hear clearly. 看不清楚, to not see clearly. Here's an example. 他一直搞不清楚出发时间. He could never quite figure out the departure time. 搞不清楚. 他一直搞不清楚出发时间.
你看现在的孩子根本就搞不清楚住四合院是一种什么样的感觉。
Here's another language point. 惦记, to remember, but this verb is much more colorful than the plain verb 记得. 惦记 is to remember fondly, or to miss, or sometimes to worry about something. For example, 妈妈一直很惦记去国外留学的女儿. The mother always missed or thought of her daughter who had gone to study abroad. 妈妈一直很惦记去国外留学的女儿。
我可记得你们家的饺子特好吃。
哟，还惦记着呢。今天我就给你们包饺子吃。
Here's a phrase that we can use in today's substitution exercise. That is, 你还别说. Now this is often used to show agreement where the agreement might not be completely expected. For instance, perhaps someone has been joking or saying something just jokingly, but they actually said something that you agree with or that you think is truthful. You'd say, 你还别说. Or maybe somebody has been saying something that you don't agree with, except in there, all of a sudden you hear a little bit of something that you do agree with. You could also say, 你还别说. Here's an example. 你还别说, 他说的还挺有道理的. Hey, you know, he actually said something quite reasonable or quite truthful. 你还别说, 他说的还挺有道理的.
你还别说，他唱起歌来还真像个明星。
你还别说，他唱起歌来还真像个明星。
你还别说，他修起电脑来还真有两下子。
你还别说，他修起电脑来还真有两下子。
Today we visited a 四合院 traditional courtyard home and engaged in the practice of 包饺子, making those 饺子 dumplings by hand. Many people still 惦记着, remember fondly this traditional form of life in Beijing. But nowadays, not that many people live in courtyard homes, and a lot of people simply buy frozen 饺子 from the supermarket. You could say that they're 已经记不清楚, I've already forgotten what traditional life was like in Beijing. Well, that's all the time we have for today's lesson, but we'll see you back here next time on Travel in Chinese. 再见.